could say a shelter, a whole act, but I died with the night. You and I.
Good morning. As you can see, I'm clearly no longer in Lofoten. I've come down with Steve this morning to Sizewell. Got a nuclear power station just there, and we've come down really with one aim in mind, and that is to get some sort of fine art, ethereal kind of looking images of these platforms or piers. I don't know what they are actually. And basically it's something I've done a few times in the past, and when I have done it, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, it's good to get back out. Good to get back out with Steve. I've not actually been out with Steve for a shoot for quite some time. But yes, as I say, we've come down to Sizewell, and we may go to some other areas in the area today as well. But for now, we're just really concentrating on this. So when I talk about sort of fine art, sort of ethereal looking images, I guess any image can be a fine art image. But what I have in mind here really is nice long exposures, about 2 minutes long. So I've got a 10 stop filter on here, and I've placed this platform pretty much central in the image. I've taken 2 shots, one in portrait and one in landscape. I think I'm preferring the landscape one because of the sky. You've got this sort of nice sort of drawing in effect where the clouds are passing through. And yeah, it's looking really quite nice. Now, in order to work out the exposure for this, I set the base exposure first, which was coming up with, with no filters on at 1/8 of a second. Now, Steve was trying to explain to me the mathematics of trying to work out what a 10 stop is, but he's tried that many times in the past and it just goes right above my head. But I just use the Photo Pills app. So yeah, just put in the details of what the base exposure is with no filters on, and it works out what the exposure should be, which in this case is working out about 2 minutes. So that's fine by me. And basically I'm just using my remote shutter here to start the timer and then finish the shot. So really nice and simple. There are a few things you've got to think about when you're doing this sort of photography, and one of the key things really is micro movements within the scene. In fact, what I'll do, I'll talk you through on my phone how I work that out. So when I talk about micro movements, at the moment I feel like I'm too far to the left. So just on this side here, you see these stanchion posts, I've got less of a gap this side than I have with the ones on this side. So by coming over to the right ever so slightly, see, it opens up that gap on the left. Oh, excuse the interruption there. As you've just seen, had a bit of a disaster. Yeah, this vlogging camera blew over and took my main camera with it. I checked it over, everything seems okay, I hope. Only time will tell. But back to where we were, and hopefully we don't have any more issues. So talking micro movements, at the moment, this sort of area here, these 2 bars coming across, they've got a much wider opening than they do on the ones on the right hand side here. So if I move to the left, probably no more than 3 feet, you'll see it's closed up the gap here on this left hand side, just here, and actually opened it up on the right hand side just here. Just come a bit further, and that is pretty much bang on now. So you've got a nice sort of central, sort of symmetrical looking image. So you've got a lot to think about with this. Now obviously today, as you've just seen, it is quite windy, and yeah, that's something you've got to consider as well, because I'm trying to do a 2 minute exposure here. And with the 2 minute exposure, you do get just a slight shake in the actual in the camera. Now to get around that, I've actually taken a shot with no filters on, just 1/60th of a second, just freezing the motion on the actual platform itself. And also by using 1/60th of a second, there are loads of seagulls actually nesting on the platform, so I can actually freeze them as well. Now what I'll need to do is when I get back into post is bring in the long exposure of the water and the sky, and actually bring in the sort of faster exposure for the platform itself. Now my intention with this when I get back into post as well is to completely remove that horizon, and yeah, it should look really quite nice. Now I'm thinking black and white for this. I think it suits the scene quite nice because it is quite monochrome looking anyway. And yeah, one advantage we do have though with the wind is the actual wind is blowing this way, which is creating some lovely streaks in these clouds that sort of lead straight into the platform itself. So that should, when I get back into post, look really, really quite nice. So I'm going to walk down a bit further now and see what else we can find, and hope that my camera's not broken. While I intended to edit the images from this morning in monochrome, when I got back into post, I just felt like something was lacking. I completed the majority of the edit in Lightroom and Photoshop, but then decided to finish off the images using DxO Nik Collection 8 and the Silver Effects plugin, opting for more of a blue tone to the images. I feel it gives more of a sense of drama and a sense of isolation that really adds to the image. If you're interested in purchasing a copy of Nik Collection 8, there's a link in the description. Use the offer code MartinH15 to get 15% off your order. Fortunately, my camera seems absolutely fine. I've only walked a little bit down the beach here, but the same sort of platform that I was photographing a moment ago, I've now come kind of head on with it. Again, using those micro movements just to make sure I've got everything nice and even in the scene. And I've taken a couple of shots here, which I'm really looking forward to getting back in editing. So I have taken the one where I've put the platform bang in the center of the frame. I've come back a little bit just to make sure that the sort of crossbars at the bottom aren't interacting with the horizon, because that'll make it a lot easier for me when I get back into post to actually remove the horizon. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. So I've got a nice central platform photo, and I've got one as well where I placed the platform on the left-hand third, but because of the way the clouds are coming across, you've almost got like a diagonal of the clouds coming in towards the actual platform itself, which does also look quite nice. Not as nice, I'd say, as back there where you had sort of the streets coming in from either side and sort of both corners in towards the platform, but still nice nonetheless. But for now, I'm going to switch focus a little bit from these platforms and actually look at some of these sort of oil rigs that are out in the distance there. Now, obviously, they're not very pretty, but I'm thinking a nice simple shot of the platform with this big expanse of the sky, long exposure, could look quite interesting. As I say, I'm turning my focus away now from the platforms, and I've actually gone straight in on this oil rig in the distance there. Now, because I'm at just shy of 200mm, long exposures are proving a bit of a challenge. But what I've actually done is I've actually taken a photo at 1/400th of a second just to freeze any motion in the scene so that the actual oil rig is pin sharp. Now, obviously, at the moment, that doesn't look quite nice. It's not what I'm going for. It's not that kind of sort of that nice sort of smooth look to the image. So what I've actually done is I've also done a long exposure of 30 seconds with a 10-stop filter on, just to get that motion in the clouds and just to freeze that water. Now, I'm going to have to blend those two in post. Now, the problem I have got is that the horizon is also quite blurry from that long exposure. So I've got two choices. One is completely remove the horizon, which I don't really fancy for this shot, or use the faster exposure to get the horizon in, but blend that in quite nicely with the longer exposure for the water here. It should work out okay in post, in my mind anyway, and yeah, it should work out quite a nice image. Now, for this composition, I've gone for something a bit different to what I've been shooting all morning. While the oil rig itself is on the left-hand third, it's not on the bottom third. I've actually only put a sliver of the water at the bottom of the scene. For me, that kind of symbolises solitude. You've got this oil rig that could be in the middle of absolutely nowhere, surrounded by the elements, and you're just out there, as I say, in the middle of nowhere. It's that feeling of solitude. And yeah, I quite like the idea of that. Now, as I say, whether this comes together in post, I'm not too sure. There's a few things going against me here, mainly the wind. But yeah, if it works out okay, I'll be very, very happy. It's a nice scene. So I've walked down about 50 metres and I've come at sort of a left-hand angle to the platform that I was photographing earlier. And I thought to myself, well, let's try and include the platform and actually the oil rig in the one photo. So that's what I've done. I've placed the platform itself on the left-hand third. I put the horizon on the bottom third, and I've got the oil rig pretty much just past the right-hand third. It's quite a nice contrast between the, the large platform here and that small little oil rig in the background. It just looks really quite nice. Now, struggling with the wind a bit still. I have taken a 1 minute exposure on this, and yeah, I can't, it's very hard to tell in the back of the camera. I don't think it's quite pin sharp, but I have again taken a shot with no filters on. It was at 180th of a second, which is going to be more than enough at 70mm here to make sure it's absolutely pin sharp. So I'm going to have to get handy with this one in post, I think, and just try and blend the long exposure and the faster exposure together, and it should work out okay. With this one though, I'm thinking I might actually leave the horizon in, because I think it gives a sense of place within the scene itself. And I think it's going to turn out to be a really nice photo. But I must say, thoroughly enjoying this morning. For someone who spends the majority of their time in the woodland, and I still love the woodland, don't get me wrong, sometimes it's nice to just get out somewhere a little bit different, sharpen your skills in other areas of photography, and just enjoy being out. I feel like I'm pretty much on my own this morning because Steve has just disappeared down that way. But that's fine, I'm just here for the photography and thoroughly enjoying it. Okay, so I've turned my attention now to the other platform that's much further out in the sea, and like what I did with the oil rig earlier, I've placed the horizon just as a bit of a sliver at the bottom of the scene in a landscape orientation, really bringing in that expanse of the sky and that, again, that feeling of solitude. Again, long exposure on this, looks really nice on the back of the camera. I've taken a 1 minute 42-second exposure. Now, I have also used a polarizer on this shot as well, just to remove some of that glare from the water. And I have taken a faster shutter speed of 1/60th of a second, and I should be able to bring the two together in post just to counteract any of that sort of wind shake that we've got going on.
An ocean, a cave, a dream that no one could save, a shelter, a whole act, a light that died with the night. You and I, we got our differences.
So kudos to Steve for this, and it's something I would never have thought about for whatever reason. But basically, he's come sort of head on to that main platform we were photographing earlier, and basically he's got the camera low in the portrait orientation with the platform pretty much on the top third of the image, and actually playing with the water here. So basically what I've done here, basically copying Steve, is getting wet feet. I've got the camera angled down, and I'm using about half a second exposure. I've taken loads of exposures using my remote shutter, so I'm not standing in the water. And basically, as the water recedes back into the sea, it creates a nice, lovely leading line to the platform there. So I've taken that exposure, I've taken loads of those, and I have to go back in post to see which ones I prefer. Sorry, wet feet again. But basically, what I've also done is taken another long exposure, about 25 seconds for the sort of the mid-ground, the sort of the main water, just to blend the two together. So we've got a nice smooth sea out there. We've got a bit of motion here, and you've got these lovely sort of really quite moody clouds as well. I've also put a polarizer on just to take some glare off the top of the water, which is looking quite nice. And it's, yeah, I think it's going to work out really, really well. So thank you to Steve for that suggestion. If you're not following already, oh, wet feet. If you're not following already, go and check him out. I'll put a link in the description.
Everything is great inside this narrow maze. Everything has lost its taste.
Well, I must say, I've had an absolutely fantastic morning here at Sizewell, but I've got a breakfast with my name on it. I do really hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, why not hit the like button? And if you've really enjoyed it, why not subscribe to the channel? Also, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a video from me editing some of these images in future and how I actually go about removing the horizon. If that's something of interest, let me know. But from me here at Sizewell, see you soon.
Monster rain and chest